So in this video, I will be talking about how you can possibly escape your 9 to 5 and how I was actually able to do it back when I was 21 years old and finally start making money on my own. For those of you that don't know who I am, my name's Tommy Wright. I'm a serial entrepreneur. Back when I was 20 and 21, I created 2 companies doing about $50,000 a month, one of which I will be talking about in this video. And at 22 years old, I bought a Subway franchise and became the youngest franchise owner ever. I did it all off of business credit cards and business lines of credit. Right now, I sit at about $1 million personal and business funding and have grown, scaled, and bought businesses up until that point, taking them well over that 6-figure mark. And I get asked a lot of times because a lot of people want to know how the hell they can leave their jobs and make money on their own for freedom, for legacy, for wealth building, for children, whatever. And I've never had a video where I actually explained how I was able to do it for myself. So that's what we are about to get into. So make sure you stick around to the end of the video so you can make sure to take away everything possible so you can possibly leave your job and start making money on your own. So taking it all the way back to when I decided that I actually wanted to work on my own, and this was after I left school, was the first thing that I decided to do was pick a vehicle that was gonna take me away from my job. And what I mean by that is a lot of people get hung up and stuck on this part is they don't know what the hell they wanna do, which is fine until it's really time to actually leave your job. So if you don't have a thing that you're like, hey, this is the thing, then it's gonna be really hard for you to make the thing work for you to be able to leave your job. And what I mean is, if I wanna do Airbnb, and I wanna do Turo, and I wanna do a clothing brand, and I wanna do X, Y, and Z, you have a whole bunch of little buckets of nothing because you're trying to spread your concentration so thin across a whole bunch of different channels and businesses that aren't working yet. So what I recommend is pick one thing, pick one vehicle, and go from there. That's what I did. So when I left school, I was working at a car wash, and the thing that I had decided that I was gonna do that I ended up making $40,000 a month from was something called asset recovery. This was basically the process of when somebody's home goes to foreclosure and it sells for over the amount that the person owed on the home, then they are legally supposed to get that money back. And I had a team of attorneys that were working for me. And like I said, I was making about $40,000 a month from this thing at the end of it. But before that, to get to that point, I decided that that was gonna be the thing that was gonna take me over the roof. So in that business, I didn't make my first dollar for the first 7 or 8 months. So I decided wholeheartedly that that was gonna be the thing to take me over. So for you personally, what you have to figure out is what is going to be that thing. Is that gonna be, am I gonna be a full-time content creator? Am I gonna be a digital marketer? Whatever that thing is, you stick to that. If you can do it for a whole year, and I guarantee you, if you can stick with something for a whole year, you'll probably be better at it than 90% of people because the bar is so fucking low nowadays. If you just stick with something for a year, you'll be fine. So my first thing would be to honestly pick a thing and say, this is the thing that I'm gonna do. And every day for the next year, whether you make money or not, get in accordance with getting better toward that thing to make you money. So that's the first thing. Figure out what the thing is, get very clear on what the vision is and what you're trying to do for that thing, and then go from there. That's exactly what I did. That's what I recommend that you do as well. So for the next thing, I think you should catch up your income to whatever your current pay is. So before I decided to go full-time entrepreneur, that was when I started to make about $4,000, $5,000 a month. And I was still working at the car wash. The car wash paid me about, if I worked full-time, it paid me about $4,000 a month. And I did not want to leave that car wash until I made that much money. And I also wanted to have 6 months in reserves just in case. Now, luckily, if you're like me, if you're a young kid and you were living with your mom, then you don't really have that many expenses. So for me, honestly, once I hit that milestone of I'm making $4,000 or $5,000 a month, I was out, I'm gone. Because I didn't have to pay for rent. I didn't really have to even pay for my car. All that stuff was paid off. So if you're a regular adult where you have, you got bills, you got kids and all that stuff, make sure you have 6 months of reserves before you make that full leap. And you also are making in cash flow the same amount of money, if not better, than what you are leaving with your job, just for security reasons. But if you're like me, if you're 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and you don't have that many responsibilities, once you get that cash flow, man, go. Because now you can take all the energy that you were kind of separating between your 9 to 5 and your business and put it all onto the business, and you can go all in. And once I was able to do that, that $4,000 to $5,000 a month quickly turned into $12,000 a month, which quickly turned into 20, 30, 40, 50. My biggest thing is I feel like the most important thing that we have right now is our ability to give attention towards things. Because if I give my attention to the wrong things, I won't be growing. So if I can put my attention in the things that will grow either my pockets or grow, let's say, my relationships or whatever, then that is a lot more valuable to me than anything else that I have to give, whether that be be money or whatever. So if you can figure out a way to make money, make the same amount of money with a fraction of the time that you're spending on your 9 to 5, imagine what you can do if you can put your full attention on that. So that's exactly what I did. So I turned my $4,000 a month business while I was still working to $40,000 a month in asset recovery every single month, because I was able to focus fully on my business. So that's how I was able, to kind of get my foot completely out of the door of leaving my 9 to 5. And that brings me to my next point, to solidify that you won't have to go back and work a job. And that last thing is, do not switch from thing to thing to thing to thing. I talked about this earlier in the first point I made when I was like, hey, decide what the hell you want to do. It's like a lot of entrepreneurs or people that are trying to get into entrepreneurship have shiny object syndrome. So like with social media and all this other stuff, you have like, hey, you can make money doing this. You can make money doing this. You can make money doing this. And what happens is like you just keep starting that loop over and over again, because ultimately everything new that you start, you're probably going to suck because you're not good at it and you're not used to it. That's why, experts are paid more, because when you have the experiences and you have like the knowledge of just like hands-on stuff, you tend to be better at the thing usually. So if that were to be true, by you jumping from thing to thing to thing to thing, you're just restarting your I suck loop over and over again. And you look up, 6 months has passed, a year has passed. So instead of you like, hey, I'm not making money in the first 6 months that I started something, stick with it another 6 months and then see where you are. Versus like every 6 months you do a new thing, 2 or 3 years goes by and you're in the exact same position working the job that you've been trying to get away from over and over and over again. So my last point is to stick with the thing, whatever the hell it is. I told you I didn't make money until the 7th or 8th month of me having a business. I didn't make $1. And I was working like 12-hour days. Like I didn't make $1. So imagine if I would have quit then, I would have never been able to make $30, $40, $50,000 a month. There would have been no way. But a lot of people, and it's very easy nowadays to just be better than a regular person because everybody wants to quit and jump ship when shit isn't going how they want it to. So the last thing I want to leave you with is just stick with the thing and keep going from there. And if you just follow those very short three things, you will be able to leave your job. And I only say that because that's what I've been able to do. I started that first business. I was able to leave my job at $4K a month. I took that business and made it into $30, $40, and $50,000 a month. I got bored. I bought a Subway franchise. My franchise makes me money passively. I make content around how I was able to do that, and I make money off of that as well. So every single time that you do something is just a stepping stone into where you're trying to get. And I know a lot of people have issues with doing this as far as like business coaching, and they don't have money to get started with a lot of these things. So what I've created was a entrepreneur group community, and the link is going to be down below in the description, but this is what it looks like. So I'll share my screen and show you what it looks like. But inside it shows you how you can get an 800 credit score, how you can get $100,000 in funding for your business. And then if you already have a business, how you can grow it by implementing, small, minute skills or processes that I've used to hire people, train people, and grow all the businesses that I have now. So if you're an aspiring entrepreneur and want to fast track your way to actually being able to leave your job, highly recommend you joining that group down below. It's absolutely free, and I will talk to you guys soon if you're in it. If you're an OG viewer, I appreciate you for coming back to my channel over and over again. I will continue to provide as much value as I possibly can. And if you're a newcomer, hit the subscribe button and like the video, comment, ask me questions. I'll answer them all. And I will see you guys on the next video. Peace.